I am super convinced right now that you cannot achieve your dreams and your goals without setting massive goals. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Book of the Week podcast. I am your host, Jonathan Portukalian, and thank you so much for joining me on this podcast, man. This journey is going to be incredible. This is the number one episode of hopefully many to come. This is a big one, and I love this. The book I'm going to talk about today is the most amazing book. The guy who wrote it is incredible, super insane. A little bit about myself. I am a real estate and contractor here in Kentuckiana area, Louisville, Kentucky, and right now, as of the moment, we're buying and flipping real estate, and me and my brother and my dad all work together. So it's a family business. We do contracting. We do a lot of custom home building, custom remodeling. So I'm deep into that space and personal development as of late. Really trying to boost up my my brain here, trying to learn some stuff. So I started this journey a while ago. Did 23 episodes. They were kind of crappy. I think a lot of they're horrible. Hopefully these turn out better. But so I actually deleted those. Those were on Facebook. I got rid of them. So I started fresh, and I got me some better equipment. Did a little better in depth, note detail, and so yeah, here we go. Let's get into it. Okay, this is gonna be awesome. So today we have the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone is a New York Times bestselling author, the number one sales trainer in the world, and an internationally renowned speaker on leadership, real estate investing, entrepreneurship, social media, and finance. This guy's written over 5 New York Times bestsellers, if I'm correct. He and I've actually read all 5. He's got Sell or Be Sold, The Millionaire Booklet, Closer's Guide to Closer Survival Guide, If You're Not First, You're Last. He's incredible, okay? Absolutely incredible. And I love him. I love this guy. He is amazing. This guy changed my life in so many ways. He is unbelievable. And as a matter of fact, the first time I heard about him was when I was following a lot of Tai Lopez stuff. If you haven't heard of Tai Lopez, this guy's a straight up G himself. They're both G's. They're legit. Anyway, so I heard about him. He actually went on his show. I think it was either Power Players or it was the Grant Cardone show or whatever he's got going on. I can't remember the name exactly. But I heard about this guy, and I'm like, yo, this is crazy. And I looked him up, and I was like, man, I started listening to all the stuff. Like, this guy is insane, man. Like, crazy, man. He's talking about this 10X thing. You know, your goals, making them insanely massive, 10Xing everything. You know, anything you want to do in life, just 10X it. Your relationship, your spiritual life, your financials, anything, man. And so I was just, like, completely drawn to this guy because he's so incredible. I loved him, and I was just like, man, I gotta learn more. So I started following him, and this is now, 2 years later, I went to his 10X Growth Conference 2 in the last 2 years. Is it 2 years? Because 3 just happened a while ago. 4 is coming. And it was 9,000 people there, man. One of the biggest networking conferences ever to be held. The one I was at, the one last year was 30,000. The biggest networking conference in the world. And, man, there's so many powerful people there. It is insane. I mean, he had Ezra Firestone. The one I was at, Ezra Firestone, he had Russell Brunson. He had Tai Lopez. He had Riley Forbes. He had, so many good people. Oh, Lewis Howes. He had Bob Lee, the real Bob Lee. These crazy people. This year, he actually had Steve Harvey and John Maxwell and Jesse Itzler and Sarah Barkley. Sarah Barkley's a billionaire who created Spanx. Jesse Itzler's her husband. He did a number of things, created a private jet company, one of the largest in the world, and sold it for I think like $7 billion or something, or maybe more. Anyway, super powerful guy, making some big moves. He's on a 10x world tour right now. He's already traveled to like 40 different countries. The guy's insane. So, can't wait. This is gonna be an awesome book. Let's get into it. Excuse me. All right, so obviously the whole, if you haven't guessed by now, the whole outline of this book is 10xing everything you do. Okay? And what that means is, hypothetically, actually, when he defines the 10x rule, it's 100 times. So 10x is 10 times. So the multiple of 10 is 100, I believe. 10 times 10 is 100. So that's what that means, essentially. But when it comes down to it, it's really 10 times what you're doing. So, a powerful... Yeah, I'm just going to get into the root of it. So what really spoke to me, I gave this book to my friend. She's super dope. And she read it, and we was talking about it, and I was just like, what is one of the key takeaways what's your gold nugget out of the book? Because in every book that I read, I learned this from Ty Lopez, is you try to find one gold nugget in the book. That's your goal. When you find that gold nugget, I actually made this up myself. I put the book down. Something resonates with me so much and it's super powerful. Boom. I read the book. I'm done. Next time. The mistake is people read one book and they get some good takeaways maybe, then they might forget, but they only read it once. So the advantage of what I do from all the things I've picked up from different people is I read the book, find my golden nugget, one or two, and then I put it down, and then I come back to it. If it's such a good book, I come back to it. If it's already a good book, I'm like, all right, I might never come back. I'll come back again maybe later. But if it's a pretty decent book, I'll definitely come back to it 100%. So, big deal. Like, you have to read a book more than once. You cannot process that much information ever. Like, your mind cannot handle it. So, you have to be very, very much concentrated on finding that golden nugget. So we was talking about the book, back to my friend, and we were talking about, she was like, the 10X, like where you can apply it to your relationships and your spiritual life, and I was like, boom. I was like, that is the book. Books are, there's so much in this book, and I've actually got a page of notes like this. You can't see it on the podcast, but if you're on YouTube, it's like this tall, 12 inches on my laptop here. Crazy. I got a ton of notes on this. And, it's the main takeaway is 10Xing. Understanding that concept of whatever you want to do in life, 10 times it. Make it 10 times better. Make 10 times more money. Make your relationships 10 times better. Make your spiritual life 10 times better. What can you do now to make your spiritual life better? Okay? Is it reading? It's reading more Bible. Read 10 times more Bible that you're doing. Memorize 10 times more verses. Pray 10 times more. Even if you can't, the whole idea too, is the 10X it. It says to shoot for the stars and hopefully you'll land on the moon. Or maybe you do get the stars. But it's better than what you was getting, because all you wanted to do was get into space. Maybe. You just wanted to take flight. But if you are shooting for the stars, you can land on the moon, and that is insane. You want to shoot for the stars, hopefully land on the moon. Okay? What most of you are doing is you're just trying to get up in the air and take flight, because that's all you care about. Which kind of blows my mind, because it's like, well, that's just, with that, you can't really help nobody, can't do a whole lot. You're just making your $40,000 a year, which, if that's all you can do, it's respect. You got to do what you got to do. But don't settle. Aim higher and try to become better. So, the whole analogy is shoot for the stars, land on the moon. Most of y'all are just taking flight. Like, you got to 10x them goals so you can get on the moon. I mean, so let's say you shoot for $1 million this year. You're only making $100,000. You want $1 million. Well, you get in this mindset. You're like, all right. You're thinking out of the box. You're like, okay, instead of working like 30 more hours a week to get my $1 million, which depending on what you're doing, or you got to sell a lot of cars, sell a lot of programs. Now you're like, man, now whether you're a company or affiliate or whatever, now you just got to 10 times everything you're doing. Maybe you got to sell a more expensive product, sell more expensive cars. Okay, maybe you have to get out of the industry. I mean, I don't know. Well, for us, it's bidding more jobs. It's doing them faster, better, bidding bigger jobs, bidding different kind of work where we're profiting more. There's a lot of different things. So, if you want to make $1 million, you're making $100,000. You shoot for $1 million, you make $500,000 that year. Dude, you already made $400,000 more than what you were going to try to make because you were only trying to make like $150,000 that year. You're trying to up it maybe a little, but instead you said I'm gonna shoot for $1 million. So now I got $500,000. And everybody want to be like, oh man, if I don't reach that goal, I get discouraged and whatever. Be like, no, you're thinking of it wrong, man. You weren't even gonna get that high anyway. Okay, you wasn't even gonna get to 500,000. You was just gonna get to 150 maybe. Why shoot for the achievable? That's what these superstars like Elon Musk, Jesse Itzler, Sarah Barkley, Grant Cardone, Ty Lopez. These guys are making massive moves, and they're getting stuff done. Some people say that's unrealistic. They're like, I got a dream, I got belief, I'm gonna do it, and they're doing it. So, it's you don't know what you're capable of. You have no idea. And so, how do you know you can't do it? People say, you can't do it. How do you know? Who died and left you in charge? Like, is it up to you to tell me what I can and can't do? No. You don't even know yourself. Your potential's so high that you're just missing it, man. Just missing it. So aim for them high. Shoot for the stars. Land on the moon. Man, maybe you hit the stars. I don't know. It'd be legit. Still legit if you land on the moon. Now they're going to Mars. So, aim for Mars. Maybe you'll catch a star on the way up. You know what I'm saying? What's good? Set them goals. 10x. Believe me, this is this concept of this book. It is the most valuable thing you'll ever grasp in your life. It has changed my life in so many ways because, man, you think you're like, all right, I make $50,000. I want to make 70. I got to work this many more hours. Maybe I got to get a pay raise, do this, do that. But if you're like, I want to make 100, 200, 300, 400,000, now it's like, oh, snap. Now it's like, do I either have to create a product, I either have to sell something I'm good at, I can teach people, I either have to get a new job or build a company. So now it's like, oh man, now I gotta, your mind flips. For me, it was like a friggin' light, man. I was just like, dang. Oh, now you're playing with the big boys. You want to get there, you gotta do something big. And don't forget, there's 7 billion people in this world. So you think, people don't want that. People don't want to buy this, buy that. I mean, you test it, man. The market will decide. So you don't really know. Okay? So you just got to be out there, giving it your best, 10x in them goals, and you'll get it. Promise you. That the three together, family, spirituality, and money. Those are the three. And with those, you can do anything. So, Insane, man. Insane. So here's a quote from his book. I'll get into. It's not really a quote, but I coined it as a quote. If someone suggests to do less, is either not a real friend or really confused. Listen to that. If someone suggests to do less, he's either not a real friend or really confused. So think about that. How many times have you been hanging with your friends like, yo, I'm going to try to, build a business, try to sell some stuff, make more money, provide for my family, try to go travel around the world, do something crazy. Man, that's all right. That's not bad. You want to be realistic about it, though. I mean, I don't know if you can do that or they say, yeah, that's cool, but then they're like, I don't think you'll do it. Or instead of helping them and being like, yo, you can do this. What are you doing? What steps are you taking today to reach that goal? I read a book. I read it twice already. The One Thing. Okay? It's an absolute phenomenal book. Okay? It is so amazing. And in that book, he says, what is the one thing you can do today to accomplish your goal? What is the one thing you can do today to get closer to your goal next week? What is the one thing you can do today to get closer to your goal next month? What's the one thing you can do today to get closer to your goal next year and 5-year goal? What's the one thing? Okay? So now you got to think about it. What's the step I need to take today to figure out and to get closer to where I want to be? Powerful statement. It's amazing, man. You figure that out and you're golden. Okay? Here's another concept. It takes the same amount of energy to make 10,000 as it does a million. Now some of you are like, wait. Nah, you're crazy, man. And I would be like, maybe, or maybe not. Because you think about it. The guy working at McDonald's or Starbucks or wherever, his 10 grand is like a lot of work, man. I mean, believe it or not, some of those jobs are a lot of work. Starbucks, man, you're good at your job. It's a lot of work. It's not, it's quite physically demanding as other jobs, but it's still a lot of work. It takes the same thought process, the same mental energy is really what this comes down to. Is it does to make 10,000, does it take 10 million? It's just a whole nother mindset is what it comes down to, man. So you really got to be like, all right, let's figure this out. Why set your goals so low, Dude, my dad, okay, I don't know if he's listening to this or not. He probably won't because he never does listen to anything I do online, which is whatever. He's like, he was telling me the other day, he was kind of complaining about how he couldn't go see my sister. She lives in Oregon. She's having a baby, and she gets sick a lot when she has babies. She's had 2 kids already. She's having a third when she has kids, and she's expecting. And he's like, I want to go see her, but I can't. I'm tied down with this business. We're working a lot. And he's kind of like, kind of feeling sorry a little bit, and just because he's so tired. And, he's in his 60s. I'm like, listen, man. I'm like thinking, I ain't told him this yet, but I'm going to. I'm like, he's always hating. He's always kind of poo-pooing like a lot of money. Oh, I don't want that much money. I don't want that. I don't want to do that. That's too much. I'm like, listen, man, you can't even go see your daughter, okay? Because you're too broke. All right? You're too broke. You're running this company. You've been doing this for 40 years, and you haven't figured out a way to give it to somebody else so you don't have to do any work. Okay, there's your other problem. Your goals ain't high enough to make that lot of money. Oh, I just want $500 a week or $1,000 a week and I'll be okay. No, man, get out of here. What are you talking about? You don't have freedom with that. The dude's 60s. He's getting burnt out. And so it's like your goals got to be crazy. Some of you might be able to relate if you're running a business with your family or whatever, and your parents are kind of older. It's like, you don't get that. You got to understand, like, for the love of Pete, man, grasp that concept. You can't even go see your daughter. Think about it. You can't even go see your daughter because you don't have enough money, okay? And you want to get mad at me because I want to make $1 billion. So, excuse me, but who's wrong here? And I'm going to go with you, okay? I can do a lot more with that. I can buy my freedom, my time, in other words, and I can do so much more good. I can spend more time in church, helping people, okay? I can go around the world, travel. I want to help missionaries, part of my goals. I want to do a lot of things, have more time for my future relationship and wife that I don't have because I'm too busy working, all right, and focusing on my career. If I didn't, I'd be focusing on my relationship, trying to create one, honestly, because if I wasn't doing this, I might not, I might not, right now I'm really, really happy with where I'm going right now, and I don't want a relationship. It's not the right time. So, I'm 20 years old. I turned 21 in 2 weeks, and I'm super young. So, the whole idea is it just kills me, man. Kills me. So some of you might be scared out there, In his book, he's talking about use your fear to drive you, man. When fear creeps in, that's a sign you should go all in. It rhymes too, so it's true. But for real, man, you're scared to do that big $1 million deal when we only making barely $1 million a year. Now you're like, dang, if I do this, we could be a lot of overhead, a lot of employees, a lot of liability. But dude, you start thinking about that, you just got to be like, because I'm afraid. Everything already makes sense. Numbers make sense. Everything's good. Why am I sitting here talking about it? Go for it. Like, you're on digital marketing. I used to do the digital marketing thing. I didn't like it. Quite honestly, I hated it. I didn't like dealing with people that close. They just rubbed me the wrong way, just trying to get them to do stuff and whatever, and it was just a pain in the neck because digital marketing is a big deal. You gotta become a complete content creating machine. You want to be effective in the space online, and most people don't grasp that concept, and so it's tough. Now, everybody out there doing it, making a lot of money, more power to you, creating more value, good for you. I didn't like it. So now, I've spent thousands of dollars on training for digital marketing and creating sales, running ads, landing pages that I haven't even touched yet. So, I got to learn a lot more, but now I apply that to this business, this company, because I was trying to do a lot of things. I was trying to do some drop shipping and e-commerce and whatnot, and I was just like, you know what, I'm going to drop it all. Read in this book, the one thing. Focus on this company, the one thing. And I'm going to go from there. Okay? Super powerful concept. Man, I love that book. It's one of my top 5 books. Whew. Top 10. I got top 5 right now. It's going to be top 10 soon. So, dive in, man. Fear starts creeping in. You dive in and get something done. You got to starve your fear. You got to starve it. Don't feed your fear. You got to starve it with busyness and work ethic and positivity, You got to do things quicker. You start sitting there thinking, cold calling. These guys sit there and they think, no, you can't think, man. You got to pick up the phone and make the call now, okay? You got to go to that client now. You have to go bid them jobs now. There's no waiting around. I'll get to it next week. No, it's now, dude. It's now. Live in the now. Okay? Get it done. Fear creeps in. You gotta drown that baby out. Okay? Next thing. Scheduling time. Okay? Another book. Actually, no, same book. The one thing. Time blocking. Okay, I love that, man. I love that book. Both these books together is like the best combination ever. I mean, it's insane. I'm actually doing a review on that book upcoming, so stay tuned for that. schedule time for your family, okay? Is that bad or is that smart? Some people like, oh, you got to schedule time for family. They must not be that important to you. Beg to differ, okay? We already established time is your most precious asset, most valuable asset you'll never get back. What should you do with the most precious asset that you have? Take care of it. Treat it good. Be wise with what you do with it. When it comes to scheduling. Scheduling is the holy grail of time management. Okay? Figuring out what's the best. Okay? For your family, it's your top one priority. You got to schedule time for your family. You and your spouse or girlfriend or whatever have to be together on what you do. And I ain't going to talk a whole lot about this subject because I'm neither have a girlfriend or married. So I'm just going to tell you what I know, and then you can figure out the rest. But you got to be together 100% on what you got. Do we hang out for like an hour, just me and you, private time after work, after, dinner, and we take care of the kids and whatever, it's 30 minutes? Do we go on a date once a week, once a month? What is your balance? Okay? Balance is a relative term to you. Okay? So you got to figure that out. Keep on track. Schedule everything. Schedule your work. Schedule your leisure time. Schedule your relationship time. You got to schedule everything, okay? You got to be on point. Got to be on point with this one. This is key. Man, really is key. And this is what I'm doing now, is I'm starting to schedule stuff. Okay, that's the whole idea of this book review podcast too, is to try to create the most value for you guys and also help myself out and learn. And that's what teaching does, is this puts me in a position to talk and teach this stuff back, and I'm able to, learn more. Super powerful. Scheduling that time, man. Getting it done, okay? Next, we have, you got to focus on customer acquisition, acquiring customers, okay? This is a big deal. This is what we're focusing on, facing in our company right now, okay? Big deal. Big deal, all right? It's acquisition, man. Good, people are like, oh, it's customer satisfaction. No, man, it's customer acquisition. I'm already going to have customer satisfaction when I do a good job and I'm professional and I can relate to people. Okay, that's already taken care of. All right? If you focus on the wrong thing, you're going to go in the wrong place. Customer acquisition, getting those jobs. I talked to a millionaire friend of mine. Well, hopefully he's still a friend. But that's another story. But anyway, he owns a big old construction company here in Kentucky called Mac Construction. And, valued at over $100 million. Him and his brother, Travis, Chad and Travis, they took it from $30 million to $100 million valuation from their dad. And they're facing a lot of problems with I did with my dad, A lot of the same, like, trying to take over and trying to give control, It's a lot, so we got to face all that. And, he'll tell me he gets like 10% maybe of what he bids. So I'm just like, all right, this is a good starting point, right? Which I already knew that, but it's a perfect example. It's really anything else. It's industry standard. It's 10% of 10%. 10% of the people are going to come in your funnel. 10% of those people are going to click on your product, and 10% of those people are going to buy from you. So it's a standard. It could be 40, 50%. So it just all depends, but that's a standard that you want to shoot for. And you can price your product and your service accordingly. So be it. However you want to do it. But it's customer acquisition, man. Getting them getting them jobs. For us, it's we get a lot of referrals. We get a lot of people that on like flooring companies and building companies that sell lumber packages. We get a lot of work from them because, they're like, oh, we need this, that, and like, oh, I know a contractor, which is us. They can do it. And so big deal. It's a big deal, man. Next we've got omnipresence. He talks about people want to hide from the social media world. And it's like, why? Oh, I just want to be personal. I don't want anybody to know what I'm doing. No. How can you change people's lives and help people if you're going to do that? Stay in your own little world. I want to be a selfish little person and do whatever I want. I'm like, dude, you can't do that, man. You straight up can't do that. You want to help people? Do you? You have to be online, sharing your story and your truth. Gary Vaynerchuk talks about it all the time. What's your truth? Top things Gary Vaynerchuk talks about is self-awareness is one of the biggest things. Okay, knowing how you tick, knowing who you are. Don't need validation from your parents, from anybody else. Respecting your parents, obviously, but you don't need validation. Don't listen to the haters. Okay, don't listen to the people that are negative. So, yeah, absolutely. It's and you want to be known all over the world. Who doesn't? There's 7 billion people. Who doesn't want to have friends in Dubai and France and Italy? Good people. There's good people all over the planet. And people aren't focused on the right thing. Right now, I'm trying to focus on a lot of branding myself. And I'm on Instagram a lot right now. I'm trying to be more on Facebook. And Snapchat, and then YouTube. Eventually, I'm going to be on... I'm going to try to be posting a lot of articles on LinkedIn. I'm trying to get a blog going. So I'm trying to do all this podcast too. It's going to help me out. So I'm trying to be omnipresent. That's your goal. That's a 10x mindset, is omnipresence. I want to be everywhere, all over the world. Okay? And then if you're lucky, everybody in the United States will know who you are. That's a huge goal. That's over 300 million people, right? I mean, how many people know Kim Kardashian? She's got like over 100 million followers. So over 100 million people follow her. And so at least that many people know her. And for sure, 5 times more people know who she is. Okay? So she's probably got like 400, let's go low, 400 million people know who Kim Kardashian is. So everybody in the United States for sure knows who Kim Kardashian is. Most of them, unless you live out of the social world completely and you just don't really care. I mean, it's either way. I don't know why he used her example. Well, actually, no, because she's super popular. But she's getting that. She's that omnipresence. Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande. Now Grant Cardone is doing this world tour. Getting crazy, man. So that's what you got to do, man. That's what you got to do. And all this takes discipline. And you got to be disciplined. Discipline yourself and apply yourself. Okay? You have to be very dedicated to what you do and focus. And it's, and one of the things in his book is big thing as he applies. He talks about all of your social media is commit first and then figure it out. Super powerful, man. So in real estate, you have to essentially, most people would be like, I'm going to find a bank, find a lender, find a real estate agent, do this, do that, and then I'm going to find the deal. Well, wrong. Okay, you need to find the deal first and then find everybody else. Because when you find it, when you can make money, everybody will come to you, man. If you're putting yourself in the right places, networking with the right people, period. You show them, I got this deal, I want to make this X amount of dollars. You can make 10, 12% if you invest with me. and we can do it. And they look at the numbers, they're like, oh, heck yeah. Boom. Trust me, there's money to be made. There's always going to be somebody there. Promise you. Okay? And that's Grant Cardone's life. Bases off. He's buying freaking $100 million apartment deals, man. Like, he already reached, like, 2 months ago, reached over $1 billion in real estate assets in apartment complexes. Huge deal. And he commits before knowing anything. Like, there's a lot of paperwork and legal stuff involved in buying apartments. And he commits to the whole thing because he knows he's got to spend like 30, 40 grand just to get all the paperwork done. But he's committed. He gets it all done before he even knows he can buy the deal because he's committed to it. And then when he finds a huge problem, he's just like, man, I don't know how I'm going to do this. And then he's like, I'm starting to think like the average. Can't do it. I got to commit, then figure it out. You want to be like everybody else? Personally, I don't. I don't want to be all high and mighty and holier than thou, but I also want to be very conscious and self-aware that I'm like, I want to be the best person I can be. I don't want to be like everybody else doing their 9 to 5 and doing nothing afterwards, trying to improve themselves, trying to be better, trying to help their relationships, help their financial life, impact people around them. You know, I just don't want to be doing nothing, watching TV and playing video games after work. You know, I want to be something more. You know, that's the idea. And, you know, in the Christian side of things, because that's what I am. I'm a Christian, trying to be Christ-like is the definition. And, you know, we dress different. We're a Baptist, independent Baptist, and we dress different. Mainly the women, the way we wear skirts and modest clothes. I mean, so that's our belief. And so it looks different to the people outside of where we live and go, and it's not like we're shacked up. We go everywhere, but just to the regular person, we look weird. But you know what? The thing about it is I love it because I'm like, yo, I don't do the things that other people do. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I've never done drugs. Never done acts, any of them. I don't go to clubs. I don't go to strip bars. I don't go to any of these places. And I like being different because being different in this way is better. And it's going to help me out in the future. I'm able to do better, more things, be more available for the people who need me, and do things that matter. And that's what I love about it, man. It's amazing. You know, embrace the different. Embrace the unusual. And the different. You're different. Embrace it. If it's a good way, embrace it. If not, change it, man. You know? There's no reason why you shouldn't. Quit being like, I want to be accepted and doing this and following everybody. Become your own person, and people will follow you. You know, you can help people. People will start learning from you and being like, this guy's a good example. You know? It's crazy. All right, let's get on to the next thing. People out there think there's a shortage of success. He talks about this ton in this book. A shortage of success. Shortage of money, mainly, right? In success in general, too, because that could go a lot of ways, right? Dude, you know how much money there is out there? Like, it's so crazy. These people doing these billion-dollar deals, selling products, selling services. Dude, there's people making billions of trillions of dollars a day. And you think, the economy's down, it's doing this, it's doing that. I mean, right now we're in a super bull market right now. And I don't know when the crash is coming. I don't predict those things. I mean, honestly, as long as the president's doing what he's doing now, it's going to stay pretty good. So, really helping this country out. So, whether you like the guy or not, I love the guy. I think he's hilarious. But, he's doing a lot for this country. People don't want to look at the facts. but financially he's really helping us out because he's a businessman. Politicians aren't businessmen. They could be, but they're not. They should be. You shouldn't be able to be a politician unless you're business, because when it comes down to it, that's what it all matters is business. Running a state, you're governor of a state, running a county. It all comes down to business. If you apply business principles to your job, you're gonna win. Period. You're gonna freaking win. So there's no shortage, man. You just gotta go out there and be creative. The internet age is here. It's been here for a long time. Quit sleeping on it. Get out there and do something. You're good at something. Teach people. You can sell your service. Record it. Teach people. Be better than everybody else at what you do. Dominate your sector. Okay? Whether it's welding, whether it's teaching how to make rugs, or, teaching how to sew, or, teaching how to grow your business, whatever it is. If you've done it and you're good at it and you feel like you're better than everybody else, then teach somebody. Quit sleeping. Get to work. Provide for your family. People are super selfish, man. The one thing in this book that really woke me up is people are super, super selfish. I am super selfish. Everybody around me is. We just want enough money for us. That's the big thing in Christian, the independent Baptist world. Is I just want enough money for me to take care of my family, whatever. Dude, that's selfish. What about everybody else in this world that can't make money? They just can't. They just hit the mindset and they'll never change. Or the people who actually can't. Who's going to help them? So, excuse me. You have to be able to be like, you know what? I'm going to make 10 times more than I am now so I can help other people. And there's so many problems out there, Try to solve a problem in the world. You solve a problem in the world, you're going to become an instant billionaire, okay? Elon Musk says it. You want to be a billionaire? Solve a problem in the world. There's plenty of problems to be solved. Super complicated, but you can solve them, man. And you never know. You never know what might happen. Figure it out. Put yourself in different environments. I think this is out of The Power of Habit. Put yourself in a different, it's an amazing book, by the way. Put yourself in a different environment, get more creative. That's what traveling does. That's what's cool about traveling, is you're able to put yourself in different situations and, and to become more creative. It's an amazing thing to do. And I've done it a couple of times. I'm like, man, dude, I got to do this more often. Thinking more clearly. I'm more creative. Things I can do. And who knows, you might stumble upon something and be like, boom, if I did that, instant millionaire, I could help a ton of people in the process, and it's make a better place in the world. That's the key, man. Making this world a better place. Okay? That's the deal. So, it's about wraps up this book. There's so much in this thing, man. I'd give this thing 10 stars if I could. Nope. So, none of that 5 stars, 10 stars. So we're going to go on to a segment called the top 5. Okay, I do that in all my book reviews. What are the top 5 takeaways in this book? Okay? So we are going to jump into that. Top 5 takeaways. Starting out with number 1, the 10x your family, relationships, and business. Okay, that's why I love this 10x rule so much, because it applies to absolutely everything. Family, relationships, business, spiritual, absolutely everything. Okay? Figure it out. Make it better. Focus on those things. 10x them and change your life. Number 2, set massive goals. I am super convinced right now that you cannot achieve your dreams and your goals without setting massive goals. Okay? Anybody in this world who has made a huge difference or has become very massively wealthy and achieved what they wanted to achieve is because they had a huge dream and they had massive goals. Okay? Huge dream and massive goals. And then taking massive action. So 3, get what you want. Number 3, use your fear for fuel. Okay? Anybody who's selling or selling online, selling over the phone, whatever it is. If you're scared, okay, you're scared to pick up the phone, make a phone call. Don't. As soon as you start getting scared, boom, I'm out. I'm going to start making them calls now. I might not know what to say because that's the fear a lot of times. Oh, I don't have the right script. I don't know what to say exactly. Hang it. Just do it. Okay, you want to sell something on Amazon, on Shopify to try to have another source of income. Don't worry about it. Just get into it. Dive in, take action, and get something done so you can make more money and figure it out. That's how you learn, is by doing. Number 4, commit and figure it out later. Grant Cardone is doing $100 million apartment complexes, and along with that comes with all the legal work and stuff, and he says, depending on what it is, but normally it costs anywhere from $20,000 to $40,000 per deal just to do the due diligence and to do all the figuring out and legal paperwork and stuff. So he's sinking $40,000 into a deal before he even knows he can get it. So he's committing. It's hardcore right there. So whether it's something you're trying to do with a job or a relationship, or you're trying to sell something online, again, Shopify or Amazon, commit, figure it out later. These are all coincide. They all work together, all 5 of these. Okay? Commit, figure it out later. Number 5, take action. Take massive action. None of this is going to even matter unless you take massive action. Okay? Work on that relationship. Set massive goals. Use your fear for fuel. Commit, figure out later. Take action. Take action on every one of those. Okay? That's the whole point. And that's what this whole book comes down to, is to 10x everything and to take action. That's it. So that's it, man. That is the 10x rule. Thank you all so much for joining me. I've had a blast with this book. This episode is such a this book is such a life-changing experience for me. So if you guys would share this and tell your friends about it, if it would help them, just let them know. Okay, that would be awesome, amazing. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm on YouTube, Spotify. I'm on iTunes and Google Play. This is everywhere. Okay, so no matter where it is, I am there. All right, so you want this book? This book is on Amazon. It's I think it's $15, and it is. I'll have a link in the description, and I'll have my show notes here in the description as well. And thank you all so much for coming and watching, I guess. So y'all are awesome. Thank you. See you in the next one.